What's going on, Copa family? We are back with another episode of our COPA90 Power Rankings. Since we're in the middle of an international break, we decided to focus on the national team still fighting for a World Cup berth. A lot will be decided in the coming days. Hearts will be broken. Entire countries will come together to try to will their side to the finish line. Here in the US, we're just hoping to sneak past Honduras and safely qualify in 3rd place in the Hex. Shoot, we'll even take 4th place with the playoff at this rate. Bring on Syria or Australia. But seriously, hoping the boys in red, white, and blue can lock this up with 6 points against Panama and Trinidad. The US men's national team did not make our top 10 after their poor showing against Costa Rica and Honduras. Plenty of teams are in great form though, so let's dive in. Coming in at number 10, it's Uruguay. There were a couple challengers with a legitimate argument to crack the rankings, but Uruguay stands tall in the 10th spot. They hold off England, who made a pretty strong case to be included in the top 10 after a solid win against Malta and a comeback victory against Slovakia to stay atop Group F. So did Serbia, unbeaten in qualifying and sitting atop their Group 2, but it's Uruguay for a reason. Second in CONMEBOL qualifying behind Brazil, La Celeste come into this one on the back of 2 strong results that kept them firmly in the driving seat to get to Russia. First, they picked up a point at home against Argentina, then snatched all 3 points away at Paraguay. With just 2 matches against Venezuela and Bolivia left, it looked good money to go on and qualify. In at number 9, it's France, who may be the most absurdly stacked team in world footy right now, outside of our number 1 team, of course. But we'll get there. In their last pair of fixtures, Les Bleus smashed Netherlands 4-0 with goals from stars Antoine Griezmann, Thomas Lemar, and that boy Kylian Mbappe, but then failed to score against lowly Luxembourg, drawing 0-0 at home. With the likes of Griezmann, Lemar, Mbappe, Lacazette, and Giroud, you'd expect much better from them, and that's what keeps them from rising higher in this list. As qualifying comes to a close, they'll look to lock up Group A and hold off Sweden with matches against Bulgaria and Belarus. In at number 8, it's the Swiss. 2 wins against lowly Andorra and Latvia have kept them on top of their group. Their goal difference, plus 15, is still miles off Portugal's plus 24, and the Swiss sit just 3 points ahead of them. It's all going to come down to the final match day when the two face each other. And if the Swiss can at least manage a draw, they're both playoff bound. In at number 7, it's Portugal. It's pretty simple. Win out and they will win Group B and automatically qualify for the World Cup. The only problem? One of those games is against the previously mentioned current group leaders, Switzerland. Portugal's at home in Lisbon though, so our money's on them to win out and take the automatic berth. In at number 6 is Peru. Peru is making a late sprint to qualify for their first World Cup since 1982. Insane. FIFA recently moved them all the way up to number 12 in their rankings. You'd think the 12th ranked team is a lock to make the World Cup, but CONMEBOL qualifying is no joke. Right now it's La Blanquiroja, Argentina, Chile, Paraguay, and Ecuador all fighting for just 2 spots in qualifying. Peru's in fine form though, coming off wins against Bolivia and Ecuador in the last round. Aalborg BK's Edison Flores and Sao Paulo's Christian Cueva have been leading their goal scoring the past couple matches, and we expect captain Paulo Guerrero to step it up in this final round. A couple huge tests this week with Argentina and Colombia coming up on the horizon. Like we said, it is no joke down there. In at number 5 is Belgium. Belgium were the first European nation to lock up their qualification in the World Cup when they beat Greece 2-1 thanks to goal-scoring machine Romelu Lukaku's instant response to Greece's equalizer. Belgium is primed to make a deep run in Russia with Lukaku and Kevin De Bruyne both in exceptional form for their clubs right now, and Eden Hazard, Yannick Carrasco, and Dries Mertens all in great form as well. The Belgians are stacked in attack, they've got world-class options all through midfield, and some of the best center backs in the game, but their biggest issue, a lack of fullback. It's not a huge concern considering their overall quality, but it could come back to bite them when things really get tight in the World Cup. In at number 4 is Colombia. No one is safe in CONMEBOL, but other than Brazil, Colombia is looking like the best team in the region. They came back to tie the group leaders last match thanks to the surging Falcao and look to lock things up this week against Paraguay and Peru. Even in 3rd place, they need points from these matches as Peru, Argentina, and Chile are all 3 or less points behind them. Still, they're up in 4th in this list because they earned it. On the strength of their recent performances, it looks like we're going to be seeing them in Russia next summer. In at number 3 is Spain. Are La Roja back? After a period of pure struggle by their standards, the Spanish League Group G after Isco's incredible display against Italy and their mesmerizing performance against poor Liechtenstein. Spain has a lot to prove in this next World Cup, but with young stars like Marco Asensio, Alvaro Morata's recent form, and Isco's arrival as a bona fide world-class player, it's looking good. In at number 2 is Brazil. It feels like Brazil qualified for Russia almost instantly after they parted ways with Dunga and brought in Tite. Tite's been a revelation, but let's be real. Brazil has some of the most exciting talent in the world right now. Tide's just enabled them to be great. From Neymar to Coutinho to Willian to the emergence of Gabriel Jesus, this team is full of flash and the Brazilian alegria. They have a whole lot to prove after their utter embarrassment at home against the #1 team in our rankings in the last World Cup, but they look primed to make it up to their supporters. And rounding our list at #1 is Germany. As it stands right now, Germany look like firm favorites to lift the World Cup trophy once again in 2018. Just look at their qualifying numbers. 8 wins out of 8, 35 goals scored, 2 goals allowed. It's actually absurd. They've got depth at every single position, young players like Timo Werner, Leon Goretzka, and Niklas Süle coming through alongside established stars like Mesut Ozil, Toni Kroos, and Mats Hummels. It's honestly kinda unfair, but it's exactly why they top our power rankings. That is it for this episode of COPA90 Power Rankings. So many national teams have been in great form and make for even better stories. Who do you think should have been in our top 10? Argentina, England, Serbia, Japan? Guys, the World Cup is less than 250 sleeps away. So good luck to all the countries still giving it their all, and a special shout to those already eliminated who are trying to play spoiler this weekend. Let's keep this conversation going on Walk Talk Football. Use the hashtag WTF to let us know who we missed and ask your questions about anything and everything in the football world. Comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.